Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Yoga to Inspire is a gentle flow of asanas to release creativity into the mundane. Let go of expectations and allow for the free flow of ideas to capture your attention. Some variations or changes in life, as well as our yoga practice, do start to feel better as we work towards a new goal or aspiration. So let's get started. Starting seated nice and tall. If you have a block or a blanket you prefer to sit on, feel free. Just get comfy so you can support that back. We're going to relax the shoulders, place the palms down on the thighs. Let's draw the chin in and the ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And take a deep breath in. And then exhale it out. Good. And just continue that breathing, nice and slow, calm and deep breath. If you want to close your eyes, you can. I want you to just think about your practice today with your eyes closed, if that's comfortable to you. Or just look out at a non-moving focal point, your drishti. Thinking again about your practice today. We have a little theme. We're going to inspire. Inspire whatever creativity we have. Maybe planting seeds of creativity. Thinking positively as we move through the different asanas. Continue to ground into the earth and lengthen through the spine. As we breathe in nice fresh oxygen, it helps the brain. And then when we start to move and build heat in the body and move the muscles and the tissue and through the joints, it gets that blood flowing to the brain to help improve our creativity. Let's take a nice deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. A sighing breath. Let's try that again. Inhale. Exhale it strongly. Just go ahead and flutter your eyes open if they're closed. Put a big smile on your face. Blink the eyes a bit. Take the palms together to heart space. Press the palms together. Lift the elbows and lower the shoulders. And then spread out those fingertips. So they're pressed together, but spread out. Stretching through the wrist, and then rotate those fingertips to the earth, and then back up to the sky, and again back down. Just warming up through the arms and the wrists. One more time. And then fingertips up, and then press the fingertips all the way to the sky. Inhaling as you come up. Exhale the right hand to the floor and left arm overhead. Soften or bend that right elbow. And then maybe pull that left arm behind your ear, look underneath, and then inhale both arms all the way up, press the palms together, exhale palms back to heart space. Relax those shoulders, rotate those fingertips down and back up again. One more time. Pressing the palms together, lift the arms to the sky. And then exhale the left hand to the floor, right arm overhead, side bend. Maybe slide that right arm back, look underneath the arm. And then inhale up to the sky. Exhale both arms out to the side. Just let your fingertips rest on the floor, realign your spine. Good, let your right hand just rest, again, on the floor, just kind of hanging out there, no weight in it, no pressure. Drop your right ear to that right shoulder. Feel the stretch through the neck, left side of the neck, and walk the left fingers out further along away from your body on the mat. And then slowly walk those left fingers in, bring the head to neutral. And then let your left arm just rest. Drop your left ear to left shoulder. Walk your right fingertips away from the body. Feel that stretch through the right side of the neck or shoulder. And then walk that right hand back in, lift the head to neutral, chin to chest. And then slowly rotate your right ear to the right shoulder, and then your chin to chest across the front, left ear to left shoulder, and chin to chest, stretching out, softening the tissue in the back of the neck, right ear to right shoulder. You can have your eyes open or closed. Left ear rotates to the front to the left shoulder. And then chin to chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. And then lift your head to neutral. Realign everything in case you started leaning forward. See if you can lean tall and lean back just slightly. Improving your posture. Look over your right shoulder. Good. Then turn your fingertips while you're looking over the right shoulder. And then, so you're pushing your palms down into the floor. Even if they don't go all the way, that's okay. Slowly bring your head to neutral and turn and look to the left. Just notice what's going on in the forearms, the fingertips. Head to neutral. Good. Keeping the head neutral, chin in. Lean slightly to the right palm. Press it into the floor. Good. Twist your whole body slightly towards the left. Keeping that right palm into the floor. Stretching out those fingertips, the forearm. And then slowly rotate your body back to neutral. Lean slightly to the left palm. Keep that left arm straight. Twist gently to your right. And you might notice a difference from one hand to the other or one wrist. And then slowly twist back to center. Release. And shake out those hands. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Reach those fingertips to the sky. Touch the fingertips. Twist to the right. Reach your left hand to the right thigh. Lift through the base of the spine and look back behind you to the right. Use your right hand as a kickstand behind you. As we twist through the belly and the gut, we want to get things moving. Slowly release as you inhale to the sky, back to center, and then exhale to the left, twisting to the left. Lift through the spine. Feel the belly breathing, looking far behind you to the left. And then inhale all the way back up to center. Exhale all the way to the right. Reach the right arm out to the side and left arm overhead. Try to keep your left hip and knee down on the floor as we inhale, lift and transition to the other side. Leaning to that left, walk that left arm way out. Reach the right arm overhead. And then inhale up to the sky. Exhale both arms down. Couple shoulder rolls, up, back, and down. Good. We're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together. And you're going to hold on to the ankles or the toes and just let your knees flap open like a butterfly. Loosening things up. And then you're going to pull the shoulders down and back and start to hinge the hips forward. But we're not collapsing through the spine. We're just staying in alignment, nice and tall. Think about a string from the top of your head down to your tailbone. And everything is tall and straight. And just pressing those knees open. And then release. Bring your thumbs to the bottoms of your feet into your, the ball of your feet, the hands, fingertips on top of your toes. And then just open your feet like a book. And notice how the knees drop and the hips open a little deeper. Do that one more time. Hold them open, lift through the spine, keeping the feet open, leaning forward just slightly. Lengthening through the spine, feeling the knees open up. Go as far forward as you feel comfortable, but keeping that spine tall. And then release the feet. Flap those knees. Good. Now we're going to transition. Pull the knees in for a moment. Hug them in, sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in. And then exhale it out. Let's transition to tabletop. So coming onto all fours. If you need a blanket or a pillow, something under your knees, Spread out those fingers on the mat, index fingers pointing to the front, thumbs to each other, knees under hips, cat-cow. So starting out cat stretch, round through the back. Exhale as you drop the chin to the chest. And then inhale, lift and open cow. Arch the back. Lift the head and the tailbone. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and open, pressing through the tops of the feet as well, both ways. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and open. Then we're going to find a neutral spine. Good. And then just shift your hips gently side to side. Just roll basically over the shins and the knees and drop those hips side to side. We're rocking through the whole body. Just loosening things up. Now we're going to separate our knees, come back to center, and bring the feet together, sliding your hips to your heels and walking the hands forward, finding a child's pose. So the belly goes between the thighs, forehead to the mat. So anytime during practice, if you feel that you need to ground down or you have an inspiration or an idea and you want to really focus on it, just take a moment and breathe quietly in this posture. Pressing the palms into the mat to lengthen through the spine and push your hips to your heels. Slowly coming back up out of your child's pose, draw the knees back underneath the hips, tuck your toes under, walk your hands back so they're under their shoulders, and you get a nice stable base. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and lengthen through the spine. Push into your toes. So we're going to do a little core warm up here. We're going to lift those knees off the floor if it's in your practice. If it's not, don't worry about it. As long as you can continue to breathe, you can always just do one knee at a time and then slowly lower the knees back to the floor. We're going to walk our hands forward and shift the body forward so you come into a modified plank on the knees. Toes are tucked under. Good. And then lift the knees again, slightly off the floor. Modified plank. Just hovering. And then knees back on the floor. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Now chaturanga from the knees. I want you to slowly lower. You can even untuck the toes, elbows in, get as close to the floor as you can without touching. And then lower to your belly. Walk your hands a little wider. And then gently press up to a baby cobra. Just lift slightly, breathing in, opening up that heart, pull the shoulders away from the ears, lower back down. Good, let's try that one more time, pressing into the palms, lifting the upper body just slightly, lengthening through the belly, shoulders away from the ears, and then exhale down. Good, tuck your toes, start to lift yourself up back onto the knees. Toes are tucked, shift your hips backwards towards your hips towards your heels, pressing through your palms, stretching through the armpits. Take a breath in, not quite in a full child's pose here. The belly's more on top of the thighs. Good, from here, shifting up and out of that posture, lifting the hips, finding your downward facing dog, and then pedal out your feet. So your hips go up to the sky, you're like an upside down V. I want you to pedal out those feet. Walk your dog, massage out your calf as you bend and straighten through the feet and the ankles and the knees, roll up onto the toes. You want this to feel good. And then maybe walk your feet nice and wide on the back of your mat there. Good, and then with your feet wide, soften the knees, press those heels, and then go up into the toes and back into the heels. And then shift your whole hip to the right so you pivot to the outside of the right foot, inside of the left. So you get a nice pivoting stretch through the armpits. Keep the shoulders level, push your chest back towards your feet. And then lift onto the toes and pivot to the other side. Outside edge of your left foot, inside of your right, level out your shoulders, push your shoulders and your chest towards the back legs. Might feel different on each side, and then come back to center, walk your feet to about hip distance apart, Pressing into the fingertips, softening or bending those knees because you don't want to feel this in the low back. Good, and then slowly walk your feet forward to a forward fold. Just take your time. If you need a block, you can always have a block right by your feet. We're going to hold the elbows, let the head hang, and just shift your body side to side. Then go ahead and place the fingertips and the palms on the shins below the knees. Lengthen and straighten the arms in the back, flat back. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Think about the back of the legs, pushing those hips back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. Good. Find your mountain. Open up the chest. Draw those shoulders down and back. Open the palms to forward. Check in and check out your toes, that they're both facing the front of your mat. They're about hip distance apart. Ground into the earth from all four corners of your feet. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. Good. Grab that left wrist, pull it up and over to the right. Shift your hips to the left, side bend. Inhale, lift. Switching wrist, grab your right wrist, pull up to the sky, then side bend to the left. Push your hips to the right. Inhale, lift, release the wrist. Exhale, arms wide, forward fold, swan dive. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Flat back, ears and shoulders separate. Exhale, fold. Soften or bend the knees. Inhale, rise. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. Heel toe the feet together. Squeeze the thighs. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Narrower base. Bend the knees. Inhale, Uttanasana, chair pose. So sit like you're sitting in a chair. Lift those arms. Option to bring your hands to heart space if this bothers your shoulders. Or if your arms only go about here and they can't come up by the ears, you can always bring it here if it's too tough on that low back. Lift those toes. Find the strength, building heat in the legs. Good. Option to rock forward onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels, lowering a little more, finding that balance. And then press the heels to the floor. Bring your palms to heart space. Inhale, press the arms up, straighten out through the legs. Inhale, lift. Slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale. Chair pose again. Uttanasana. Slide those shoulders back down. This time bring the palms together in front of heart space and twist to your left. Now, option, you can stay here or you can draw that right elbow towards your left thigh. So I just give variations, and this is where you get to get inspired and creative. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you're holding on. Maybe you're just here and staying level. Maybe you open the arms. Option again. Maybe just opening that chest and get that nice twist. Slowly rotate back to center. Bring your fingertips to the floor, straighten the legs, forward fold. Feel that nice release. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to chair again. Slide those shoulders down and back. Lift the toes. Palms to heart space. Press the toes down. Twist to the right or drop the elbow to the thigh. Open up the chest, pressing the palms. Option to open the arms. If you have a variation you would like, you can always bring your hand behind your back. Get creative. What is your body inspired to do? And maybe your body is inspired to relax a little more and not press. And that's okay. Back to center. Hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Take a deep breath in, half lift, lengthen, hands on the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. Inhale, sweep the arms down, around and up. Exhale, palms together behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Press those palms together. Oh, keeping that balance, those feet and thighs together. And then exhale, forward fold with the chest expansion is optional. Now remember, if you just want to be here or just lifting the arms, you can lower down, nose to knee, opening that heart space. Releasing the fingertips to the floor. Press the palms down, bend the knees a little lower. Take the right foot all the way back, and then the left, finding your plank. And take a deep breath in, slowly lower, elbows to the floor. Elbows to the body to the floor, elbows to the rib cage. Then the elbows to the floor, palms flat. Good. Lift again, little mini Cobra, but this time elbows are in to the floor. Good. Slide the elbows in a little bit more underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift to the knees. So it's now an elbow plank. So walk those elbows in. Engage that core. Option to straighten the right leg, pushing into the right toe on the floor. Then the left. Finding your full plank. Feeling the strength in the core. Now option here, we're going to twist to our outside edge of our right foot. Now option to lower your right knee and kick it back and come all the way up to an elbow side plank, or you can have both legs straight and stacked or staggered and come out to that elbow side plank. So what are you inspired to do today? Embrace the shakiness. Maybe you take your left arm and reach it over your head. Sweep that left arm down around, pivot back onto your elbow, full plank. Now option to go to the other side, knees down, kick it out. You can rotate to a variation. You can have the legs straight or stacked for full side plank. On the elbow, reaching maybe the right arm either can be to the sky or overhead. Just get creative with a challenge and then sweep that right arm back down, find your plank. Deep breath in, lowering on the exhale, belly to the floor. Slide the hands back by your chest, pressing up into an upward facing dog. You can have your thighs on the floor or off, and then shift to your downward facing dog. And just breathe. And you have the option of a child's pose here instead, if you would like a child's pose. I want you to breathe in and out, softening the knees, melting the belly towards your thighs. Is there any project that you've been wanting to be working on or get inspired to do? Just think about that. Maybe what it is you're inspired to start working on your own body and your own mobility, keeping yourself moving and feeling good, eating healthier and drinking more water. Plant your left heel into the floor. Bring your right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend that right knee and rotate the hip. Rotate that knee all the way around 4 times and then change direction. And then send that leg all the way back up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee and then stack the hips. Pull that right foot over to the left. Just feel it opening up that right hip. Try to keep the shoulders level. Push that right shoulder down. And then slowly extend that right leg and back to the floor. Back to your downward facing dog and then lift the left leg up. Three-legged dog, push that right heel into the floor. Good, bend your right knee. Let's circle that right hip around. One more. And then change direction 4 times on either side. And then extend it back up to that three-legged dog. Then we're going to bend the knee and stack the hips. Try to keep that left shoulder down. Really opening things up. And then we're going to bring both feet back to the floor. Take your right leg all the way up to the sky. Bend the knee. Slowly bring that right foot between your hands. And then lower your left knee to the floor. Feel free to use blocks here, or put a blanket or towel under your left knee and lift yourself up. Hands on the right thigh. Feel that stretch moving into that left hip as you slide your hips slightly forward, making sure your right knee is over your right ankle, and then extend the arms overhead, reaching them up. Bend the elbows, open up your heart, cactus arms, and continue breathing. Now that left hand is going to go on the floor next to your right foot. And again, you can use a block here. We're going to straighten out that back left leg. Take your right knee and right toe and turn it out to the right side as you pivot onto the top of your left foot and extend your right hand behind you. Feel that nice stretch through the hip. And then slowly coming back. And then press both hands to the floor. Find your plank. And then shift all the way back to your downward facing dog. And just breathe. Feel free to take a child's pose here if you would like. Or you can even, if you are super inspired right now, you're nice and warm, want to do a full vinyasa flow, you can. Just meet back here in downward facing dog. Take a nice deep cleansing breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Lift your left leg up. Good, bend the knee. Pull that foot between the hands. And then slowly lower your right knee to the floor. Untuck that toe, walk the hands up the thigh. So again, make sure your knee is over the ankle. That left leg, hinge the hips forward so you feel that nice stretch through the hip flexor. And possibly open up and lift the arms to the sky. Maybe find your cactus arms, open up that heart space. Breathe. Then you're going to take your right hand. You're going to bring it to the floor. Good. You're going to tuck your right toes under and straighten out that right leg. Now take your left foot and open it up and your knee to the left side. Pivot onto the outside edge. Your whole body turns to the left. So that right foot is, outer edge is on the floor. Reach your left arm back to the back of the mat. Nice twist, nice stretch for the glutes. And then slowly come back to center. Now we're going to take the feet back. Now here you have a choice. Down dog, child's pose, or full vinyasa flow. Exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Or just meet us in down dog. So if you're in child's pose, you're going to work your way up to downward facing dog. And then we're going to walk our feet forward to forward fold. Or you can hop or jump to the front of your mat. And then we're going to inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, rise. All the way up, slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. And then find your mountain at the top of your mat. And your toes are about hip distance apart again. Good. Open it up. And breathe. We're going to take you're going to take a foot back and you're going to just take a nice wide stance. So it doesn't matter which one because we're just going to be shifting, just making sure that you can see. Toes are nice and wide. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms. Grab hold of your creativity, your ideas, whatever's up there. If you don't even know if it's a blank slate, perfect. And then bring it down and scatter those seeds among the earth and then lift it up. And then dry that again, bending into a squat, sweeping the arms. And then exhale, squatting and inhaling. Bringing inspiration into your life and lift. Last one. And lift. Good, now we're gonna bend the elbows and we're gonna squat down and find your goddess. And just do a couple little shifts through the hips, and we're going to pause and hold here. And then I want you to extend the arms up and find your star. Toes are open. Take a deep breath in, really lengthen through all the limbs. And then exhale, forward fold. Reach towards the floor. Now here you might want to go wider with your feet. It's up to you. And then maybe turn your toes forward so your heels are behind your toes. You get a little extra stretch through the outside edges. Then we're going to walk the palms backwards. Option to place your head on the floor if that's in your practice. If you have an inspiration to do anything extra here, maybe a balance pose. Just feel that nice stretch. Maybe it's through the inner thighs or the outside edges of the lower leg. And then if you are in a balance pose, start to work your way down. And then you can always walk your elbows towards the floor. And then we're going to start to straighten out the arms, flatten the back, and then walk both hands to your left foot. Reach them out. Take your right hand and reach it to your left ankle. And then just lower your body and twist towards your left knee. Nice wide foot stance. One more breath. And then we're going to release that ankle and walk the hands all the way to the right. Reaching now the left hand to the outside edge of your right ankle. Draw your body towards your right knee, lengthening through the legs. And then you're going to release, and you're going to bring the hands back to center, and then heel toe in just one foot, maybe like one in and out with the toes. Hands are flat. Feel free to use a block here, keeping your left hand on the floor, right hand rotates up to the hip. Flatten out and lengthen the back. Feel your tailbone pushing to the back. Good. Start to twist your whole upper body to the right. So the right shoulder is starting to stack on top of the left. Slightly bend your left knee. Just feel that nice stretch all the way down that right leg, maybe on the outside. Option to reach your right arm to the sky. You can place it behind your back if you would like. And then slowly straighten out your left leg as you bring your right hand to the floor. Switch hands. So place your right hand on the block or the floor. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Start to rotate. Lengthen the spine first and then rotate the whole upper body to your left. Lengthen through the neck. Bend slightly into that right knee. Get a little deeper twist. Option to reach your left arm up. And you might notice a difference. Maybe you have your hand behind your back. Maybe you keep it on your hip. Notice what's going on. Are you leaning forward? Can you slide back into that left hip a little deeper? Maybe for you, you want to keep your right leg straight. It's up to you. Play around with this posture. And then from here, if your arm is up or on your hip, you're going to lower it back to the floor, both palms down. Good. Turn your toes back out, nice and wide. Place your hands on the inside of your thighs and lift your upper body. And pressing those knees open, lowering the shoulders. Draw your left shoulder towards your right knee. Nice twist, pressing that left inner thigh open. And then slowly shift sides. Twist the opposite way. Then back to center. Good. Bring your palms to heart space and see if you can lower into this nice wide squat a little more. Press the palms, lift the upper body. Inhale, lift all the way up, extend, find your star. Good. Turn your left toe to the back wall, back of your mat. Turn your right toe to the side and bend into your left knee and find your warrior two. So adjust your feet. So if they were too far forward, maybe you want to go wider, or maybe you need to shorten them up. That's okay. Now think about where your shoulders are. You want them right over your hips, and your hips and shoulders are facing the side of your mat. Your left knee is towards the front of your mat, and your palms are facing the floor like, and pretend like you have 2 cups of hot tea on the backs of your hands. So you're nice and strong, long, long neck. And look over those left fingertips. Sink a little deeper, feeling the strength. Might check in with your toe. You want to make sure you can see your big toe on the left foot and that your knee is not collapsing in. It's opening to the left and it not going over your toes. Good. We're going to straighten out the left leg. Flip your left palm up and then rotate your thumb up so it's kind of open and rotating, and then start to reach your fingertips to the back of that mat. Shift, shift, shift. Find your triangle. So the back of your hand goes either to the inner thigh or the shin. Right arm can go to the sky. Now option, maybe you're starting to collapse through the upper torso or shoulder, just bring it up higher. Feel those hips opening up. Reaching the arm. Maybe you have it over your head. Maybe you take that arm behind your back. Lots of options here. Bend into that front knee. Windmill it all the way up. Reverse your warrior. Left knee is bent. Option for the thigh. Or you can bring the hand behind the back, the right hand. And then come back to warrior 2. And then pivot. The left foot towards the side of the mat, right foot to the front of the mat. Bend into your warrior 2 to the front of the mat. We just switch sides. And again, make adjustments. Make sure you can see that your knee is over your ankle and you can see your right big toe. Level out your shoulders and your arms are lengthened. Feel the stretch. And so your hips now are facing the side of your mat. The knee is to the front of your mat and your shoulders are over your hips. And breathe. Flip your right palm up. Relax the shoulders. Now flip your thumb up and start to straighten out that front leg and hinge at those hips. Reach it as far forward as you can. Then bring the back of your hand to the inner thigh or the shin. Find your triangle. Take your time getting into the postures. You want to be inspired by your form, and you want it to feel good. Lift your left arm up. Option to have it on your hip or behind your back, whatever feels good to your shoulder. And you're breathing. Lengthen through the neck. Now we're going to slowly bend into that front right knee and flip your warrior. Reverse it. Left hand on the thigh, right arm up, right knee bent. Left hand can go behind the back if you would like. And then release. Good. I want you to inhale, straighten both legs, both arms up to the sky. Turn your toe, right toe to the side, left toe to the back of your mat again. Bend into that left knee. Find your warrior 2 again. To the back of your mat. This time bring your forearm to the thigh. Right arm overhead. Reach it. Now I'm going to add a challenge. If you are inspired, you're going to sweep your right arm down by your back foot and then sweep it down by the floor and over your right ear. And then option, extending your left arm as well. And then opening that chest and finding your core. Bending into that front knee a little deeper. This is a challenge and it's optional. Otherwise, just keep your arm on the thigh. And then inhale, lift. Palms to heart space, pivot the feet. Find your warrior 2 to the front of the mat. Relax those shoulders. Bring your right forearm to the front thigh. Left arm comes up and over. And then sweep it down around that left arm so it comes up over that left ear. As you lean forward, option to reach your right arm and open that chest and sink a little deeper. And breathe. Embrace the shakiness. Your arm can always stay on the thigh. Inhale, lift. Good. Pivot the feet again to the back of your mat. Both legs stay straight, but your left toes to the back of the mat. So you're going into your triangle to the back of the mat, or your warrior two, but the leg is straight. Take your right arm, and I want you to windmill it towards the inside of your left foot, or use a block here. Left hand on the left hip, and really lengthen and flatten out the back, and then twist to the left towards your left thigh. And breathe. Option to bring your left arm up to the sky and your hand to the floor. Revolve triangle. Some of you might even be able to bring your hand to the outside edge of your foot. Again, just changing up variations. Bend into that front knee. The left knee, windmill it all the way up. Good. Arms to the sky. Pivot your feet. Again, both legs straight. Pivot to the front of your mat. Like you're going into a warrior two. So again, but that right knee instead of bent is straight. Take your left arm, windmill it all the way down. Again, it can be on the shin or a block. Right hand to the hip, and let's twist to the right towards that right thigh. Deeper stretches. So sometimes when we get inspired, we have to work through challenging things to get our dreams or our goals to happen. It's a great way to soften the tissue and increase our mobility as well, and getting blood flow to the brain for our inspiration. Option with the arms, they can be up, behind the back. You can have the arm on the outside, and then soften that front knee, windmill it all the way back up. Find your star. Turn the toes diagonally out. Bring the palms facing the sides of your mat. Open those fingers. Good. Bring the palms together to heart space. And breathe. Good. Bend into those knees. Shifting gently side to side. Come into those squat. That nice wide squat. Open the arms like goddess arms. Cactus. Cactus arms. Lift the toes. And breathe. Let the toes come back down. Good. We're going to windmill both arms to the front of the mat. Take a plank. Take your plank. Find that strength. Nice and tall. Let's squeeze the thighs together. Tuck those toes. Find your strength and your power. Rock onto the toes. Back into the balls of the feet. Elbows in. Back into the toes. Lowering yourself down slowly to chaturanga. Inhale, untuck the toes. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Whatever's in your practice and what feels good to you right now. 3 long, deep breaths. One more deep breath. If you're in child's pose, meet us in downward facing dog. Plant your left heel into the floor. Bring the right leg up. Bend the knee. Bring that right knee towards the right wrist, finding your pigeon. Sliding into that right hip. And just doing a little shift side to side. Feel free to throw a blanket or a block under that right hip. So your left knee and your left top of your foot are on the floor. And then just walk it forward. Now, option is you can stack your hands, let your forehead rest. You can bring your arms out front. Now, if this is not in your practice, I'm going to demonstrate a reclining pigeon. If this bothers your knee, you can always take it onto your back and hug your knee in with the leg straight, or even with the leg bent, squeezing between. So that's a variation. Feel free to take that. And breathe. One more breath. And then we'll be walking the hands in nice and close to the shin and lifting that chest, opening things up all through that left hip flexor. Tucking that left toe under. Let's take your right foot all the way back up to a 3-legged dog. And then bend the knee and place that foot on the floor. Lift the left leg, three-legged dog. And bend the knee, pull the knee forward. Find your pigeon on the left leg. So this time the right knee and the right top of your foot is on the floor. And then just shift your hips side to side. And then walk your hands forward. And again, you can have something under your hip if it's hard to get that hip. If you're way up here, just throw a block under there so you can rest a little deeper and stretch that hamstring and that hip. Otherwise, you can walk your hands forward as well. We never want to force these postures, just enjoy. Again, if maybe this is the knee that doesn't like this posture, you can always take a reclining pigeon. You would cross that left ankle over the right thigh and just hug it in either way. So that's another variation. Listening to your body. One more breath here. And then we'll start to walk our hands in close to the shin. Lift through the upper body so you can really enjoy that lengthening of the right hip flexor, the right thigh. Now from here, we're going to sit on our left hip. And we're going to bring the right leg all the way in front. And then we can straighten both legs to a staff or dandasana pose. Pull the glutes out from underneath the sits bones there, so you get down onto those sits bones. Sit nice and tall, flexing those feet. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, reach towards your feet. Lengthening through the spine as you reach forward, so we're not just collapsing down into the posture. You can even hold your big toes if you want, or the outside. Maybe it's more your ankles or your knees. You can use a yoga strap if you would like. And just continue to breathe. Lengthen the neck. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, feel the shoulders relaxing a little more. Feel your body melting forward a little more. Then we're going to inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, pull that right knee into the chest. And then place that right foot on the outside edge of your left thigh. Grab hold, wrap that left arm around that right knee. Place your right hand behind you, lift and twist to the right, towards that right thigh. Lengthen through the neck, and then we look a little deeper, further behind us. See if you can get your eyeballs to look even further. Stretching them out. Yes, I did say stretch the eyeballs. They can be challenged as well. And then slowly, we're going to come back to center. And then you're going to take that right foot. I want you to place it on the inside, flat on the floor of your left thigh. Bring your right shoulder on the inside of that right thigh. And then reach both hands towards your left foot. Now, option is you can stay here. Maybe you want to take your right arm, and place it against that right in front of the shin, that right tricep, or the right hand on the floor. Option, if you want to bind, you can bend your right elbow and then bring your left hand behind your back and interlace the fingers. Level out the shoulders and try to lean forward. So again, just options, variations. Try to pull that right knee in towards the shoulder. Or your arm can always be out to the side and you're just reaching. Again, different options here. If you do have a bind, we're going to release it. If you're holding a strap or holding your toes, we're going to release and lift up nice and tall. And then exhale the arms out and straighten out the right leg. Good. We're going to take a breath in and then hug the left knee into the chest. Place it across the outside edge of your right thigh. Wrap your right arm around that left knee. Flex your right foot. Place the left hand on the floor. Lift and twist through the base of the spine. And then look behind you as far as you can, including with your eyeballs. Looking back. And breathe. Feel your belly getting mushed into your thigh. You want to do that. Get that nice twist. Now we're going to release. Bring the head back to neutral. And we're going to bring that left foot on the inside of the right thigh. Hug it in nice and close. Bring your left shoulder on the inside of your left knee. And then reach for your right toes. And again, maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you can just hold on or just reach the arms out. Option is to take your left tricep, the back of your left arm, and press it into the shin or the front of that left knee. Maybe you just stay here and reach with the right arm. Option is to bend the knee, the elbow, and you can always reach back and bind behind the back. And look forward at your toes and smile. Maybe it's an inspiration to try to get to the posture. When I first started, I was not able to reach this bind at all, so it's all good. You take your time, you use a strap if you need it, or a belt or a towel. Now, if you are with a bind, we're going to release. If you are holding onto a strap with a toe, we're going to release, and then we're going to inhale, reach it up. Nice and tall, exhale, the left foot forward. Breathe in one more time to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Probably a little easier now to get down, lengthening through the spine. Feel the belly towards the thighs, flexing those feet, and then inhale, reach the arms. Lift up tall, exhale, arms next to the body, bend the knees, find your boat. So option, heels can be on the floor, you can hold on, you can release, you can lift and hold, you can release. Lengthen through the spine. Everybody loves a nice little boat pose, right? Engaging those core muscles, getting them to work. And breathe. Maybe we paddle our feet today. How about a little rowing? Rowing, are you in a kayak or a canoe? Rowing your boat and paddling your boat. Getting a little twist in there. Maybe we squeeze the feet together and we only row with the upper body. And then we pause and extend the arms and open up that chest. And then slowly start to lower all the way to the floor. Now, when you come down to the floor, we're going to walk the feet in about hip distance apart and reach your fingertips towards your heels. And then we're slowly going to lift to a bridge. So lift those hips up and think about lengthening through the spine, not just pushing the hips up. Really lengthening. Shoulders relaxed. And then slowly lower those hips all the way back down to the floor. Good. And now you're going to walk your feet and your knees in all the way so they're touching. Bring your arms out to cactus arms. Open up that heart. And then drop both knees to your right, and they're stacked. Maybe pull the knees closer together, really feeling the stretch through the left side of the body, and then turn your head to the left. Enjoy that nice stretch. You can close your eyes, you can have them open. Very slowly, we're going to let the head come back to neutral. Pull the belly in as you lift the knees up. Recenter the body, bring the feet and knees back together. And then start to drop them to the left and let your head turn to the right. And just notice the difference. Feel the energy running through your body. And think back about your intention at the beginning of class. Have you gotten any inspirations today to continue to deepen your practice? Maybe you want to go paint or draw or sew or hike or play a game, call a loved one. So many things that can just pop into our head, and just don't let them pass. Think about them as an inspiration or a guidance to do something that feels good and right in your life. And then slowly bringing the head to neutral, lifting the knees up. Relax the back into the mat, pushing and tilting the hips, slightly rotating the hips so you can push the belly and the back into the mat. And then walk the feet back towards the hips. Separate them about hip distance, reaching your fingertips towards your heels. And then I want you to reach your fingertips to the sky. Lift your hips again. And this time let your hands fall behind you overhead. And really lengthen. And then as you lower your hips to the floor, the hands come back down by your feet. And then we're going to hug the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze and a rock side to side. And then we're going to separate your knees and we're going to either grab your toes, find your happy baby. Maybe you wrap your arms around the inside. Maybe you just hold the outside of the feet. Again, lots of options. Pull the knees towards your armpits or towards the floor and just give a gentle rock, pushing that tailbone down. And then find your center. Again, just gently pulling down, opening the hips. Option now to straighten the right leg. Holding on to, if you can't reach the ankle or the foot or the toes, you can hold behind the shin or the knee. And then bend the right foot, leg, knee, straighten the left. Feel that nice stretch through the left hamstring. And then bend that left knee. Good. Bring the bottoms of the feet together if you can, and holding onto the toes. Feel that nice inner thigh stretch. And then very slowly, as you release your feet, keeping the bottoms of the feet together for reclining butterfly. Walk the shoulders away from the ears. Bring your palms underneath your thighs. And just take a nice deep breath in. And then from here, you're going to use your hands to pull the knees together. Feet come flat on the floor. Then I want you to bring your arms out like cactus arms and then straighten out your legs. And just feel that nice opening of the chest. And as you breathe, I want you to feel the rise and fall of your belly, but no strain on that low back. Deepen your breath. Find that ujjayi breath. Let your legs start to fall open and relax a little more. Go ahead and bring your hands down next to your body. Walk your shoulder blades out and down. Closing our eyes, finding our shavasana. Find that quiet inspiration. Do a scan of the body. Starting at your toes, moving up your legs, over your hips and your torso, up your arms and shoulders and neck. When you get to your brain, your head, check in with your thoughts. One more breath in. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then you can hug your knees into your chest. Or you can just press yourself up. Or you can stay in Shavasana if you would like. It's up to you. Whatever feels good. Finding an easy seat, sitting nice and tall. Draw your chin into alignment. Take a deep breath in, reach those palms up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.